Welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be talking about my changing views on fasting. Now, I have been a long believer in fasting because that is how I initially lost weight. And recently, I discarded this idea that fasting is the most superior dieting pattern or a diet because recently I started a job that requires me to stand up to 12 hours every single day when I work. This long shift accumulates close to 12 to even sometimes 15,000 steps. And my body feels drained. And when your body feels drained, one of the key sources, one of the key nutrients you ingest is carbohydrates. And so I had to discard this idea that fasting is the most superior dieting pattern. And I have that video on my YouTube channel saying that fasting is the most superior dieting pattern because it worked for me at that phase of my life. It was probably more than 6 months back. I kind of am embarrassed about that video, but I really do want to keep that up because I could look back on my views and form new theories, because science is all about renewing your ideas and renewing your theories based on the evidence. And in this case, even though this is anecdotal, it is kind of a truth for me because you have to find your own truth in some way in terms of nutrition and in terms of exercise. And when I believed that fasting was the most superior thing, I avoided to think about all those people who have fast metabolisms. They were not going to fast. And I just kind of generalized that fasting should be utilized by every single one on this planet. And I was wrong. I had a recent podcast too. It was with Matthew Spivak, and he also does not fast on a regular basis because fasting is a great tool only for people who want to lose weight. Lose weight when they have excessive body fat on them. And that's why fasting worked for me when I was a larger individual. I was 225 pounds, came down to 160 in a matter of 1 to 2 years. It was slow, but it was essential. And the number one thing I utilized was fasting. But recently, I had to break my own truth or kind of form this new truth that fasting is not end all be all. There are several research studies have shown that fasting can deplete your lean body mass. And I think that's why it's probably one of the primary reasons that I don't have optimal muscle mass in relation to the amount of training I was doing over the years, because I fasted a lot. And in that, I wasn't giving myself protein every few hours. I was restricting my eating window, but I wasn't giving myself amino acids so my body could build muscle. For the past month, I haven't been fasting, but I am losing weight. I actually have lost about 7 pounds, and some of it might be water weight, some of it is probably fat. And so I really feel good about this new approach that I have taken on. Fasting for me seems like it's not end all be all. As long as I maintain like a 10-hour eating window or even 8-hour eating window, I'm fine. Because I previously have gone to an extreme. Like I would work out and then I would just have 2 meals a day, and that would be inside a 6-hour window. And that was just pushing it. And I think that's one of the reasons why, as I said, I don't have the maximal muscularity or the maximum muscle I could achieve in all these years. I probably lost some progress just because of fasting. Stop following the meal plans that you see online. This video is a rant, but so be it, because this has to be addressed. Stop looking at those 1,200 calorie diets on YouTube. They'll give you like 3 meals and you're hitting like 1,200 calories a day. That's stupid. Might just as well like eat a bag of lettuce every single day and thank for God that you will lose weight. Because that's not sustainable. Are you going to eat what other people eat every single day? No, stop following a diet plan. There's no need for you, unless there are places where you need to follow a diet plan. There are places where you need to follow a step-by-step diet, because if you have a certain mental health disorder, let's say you have epilepsy, and if you go on a keto diet, you will see improvements in your symptoms and your disease. So that's number 2. But fasting does really have psychological benefits. After waking up and after just not eating for the first 2 hours, for example, does give me all the psychological benefits I need. And so I keep that consistent in my life. I do usually fast for at least 1 or 2 hours after waking up. Fasting also has some of the incredible therapeutic benefits. I took a class in college and it was a seminar. And we had to read a lot of research papers on the idea of metabolic approach to cancer. And so this is like a different approach from the genetic side of cancer. And this is really cool. And to this day, the idea that your metabolism is causing cancer is really fascinating, because in that class, what I learned that caloric restriction and fasting can be great for reducing cancer. Because one of the studies we looked at in that class was, if you calorically restrict an animal who has cancer, the tumor will significantly reduce, just because it's not getting glucose, it's not getting amino acids, and those 2 nutrients are highly anabolic, and it kind of enhances cancer growth. And when you calorically restrict fast, you are not giving the tumor nutrients to grow. And so fasting definitely has some place. So my point is, any dieting pattern, for the sake of the video, fasting, should be utilized on a contextual basis. Meaning, for me, I utilize fasting when I need the psychological benefits. If I had cancer, I would definitely do some sort of water fasting or caloric restriction to reduce that cancer. I'm changing my views on it for better, so that I could build more muscle, lose more fat, be more consistent in terms of giving into my hunger signals, and just make a life a little easier, because fasting is not end all be all. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Catch you in the next one.